Hello there, I am back with another video, some new stories from Ethiopia and Eritrea. Firstly, Fano fighters have stormed a prison, prisoners released. Where is this prison located? Is there no government there? Because regional president says that there is just occasional guerrilla war in some areas. Overall, situation is peaceful, but even prisons can be attacked by Fano fighters in Amhara. That is the level of stability in the region. Secondly, some journalists have gone missing in the Amhara region. It was reported last night by a news outlet. We have details and update for you about this development. Thirdly, Tigray, Mekelle police chief says that its police officials handled yesterday's protest very skillfully. I want to say a few words about this skillfully. And lastly, Eritreans protested in London a few hours ago. The protest is about what is happening in Israel, where the two Eritrean pro-democracy and pro-Eritrean government groups clashed on Saturday, and now a legal battle has begun there. Firstly, viewers, Fano fighters have stormed a prison. Unknown number of prisoners released from this prison. Where is this prison located? The prison is in North Shore zone of the Amhara region. Minjar is the name of the Woreda. 2 days ago, around 48 hours ago, I did a video about Fano fighters' presence in Ararti. I reported about their entry in Ararti. When they entered in Ararti, there was no ENDF there, no police, no militias. So police militia members retreated. Then Fano fighters took control of Ararti. And after that, they stormed a prison there because they're the government there now. No local government there. No prosperity party government officials there, or whoever is there is now working under Fano control. So after that, Fano fighters, after taking control of Ararti, Fano fighters stormed this prison in Minjar. How many prisoners have been released? It's not clear, it's difficult. Only confirmation is that Fano fighters entered the prison, they surrounded the prison, and they freed prisoners. How many prisoners have been freed by Fano fighters since the start of this conflict in Amhara? I would say hundreds, if not thousands, because they freed dozens from a prison in Bahir Dar and several other prisons as well, where Fano fighters attacked and they released their comrades. And government never share details. Who are these prisoners being released? Are they Fano sympathizers? Are they Fano comrades? Or are they criminals? If they're criminals, what was the crime committed by them? Are they heinous crime offenders? No one knows. I have not seen a single statement in the last 3 months from the government confirming Fano's attacks on prisons, though I have reported several, and everyone knows that these attacks were carried out and hundreds of prisoners were released. No one is but telling the people. Ethiopians have right to know how many prisoners have been released by Fano fighters, how many prisons have been attacked so far. Secondly, journalists have gone missing in the Amhara region. Journalists of state television stations, Volta TV and Fana TV journalists were sent to the Amhara region to record a documentary. These journalists, their crew members with their cameras entered Amhara region, but they were abducted. And today, family members of these journalists protested outside Fano and Volta TV headquarters in Addis Ababa reportedly. The TV station administration did not tell the family members of journalists about the whereabouts of these journalists. It means they have been abducted. Who abducted them? Pro-Fano sources claim that these journalists were abducted by military. That military took them to Amhara from Addis Ababa. Military then abducted them. But that is not what the case is reportedly. These journalists have been kidnapped by Fano fighters. Obviously, they don't want pro-government media outlets to report. They don't want pro-government journalists to report because they say that these journalists spin facts, they twist facts, they paint a bad image of Fano, and they are working against Amhara people, Amhara region. So, what I have heard is that these journalists were kidnapped by Fano fighters, not released so far. Their family members worried. Thirdly, was Tigray, where Mekelle police chief appreciated the performance of his force. Tigray police behaved like a force yesterday, not like a service institution. Mekelle police chief held a press briefing last night. The press briefing was held about Thursday's incidents at Romanoth Square, where police dispersed a rally of opposition parties. Several party members of Salsivjene, Beton and Tigray Independence Party were arrested. Mekelle police chief confirmed 49 arrests. He said 49 had been arrested, 17 released, others still in prison. And he said rally was illegal. It was organized without permission. That is why police took action. Well, I don't blame police for what happened in Mekelle yesterday, because police is under Tigray government. If we want to blame, we should blame TPLF. We should blame Tigray interim government, not police. Police officers follow orders. They have limitations. They cannot go against the orders of the superiors, of seniors, of men in charge in Tigray. So we shouldn't blame police. If anyone is responsible for torture, for what happened in Mekelle yesterday, Tigray interim government, TPLF, are responsible. Having said that, the Mekelle police chief appreciated the performance of his police officials. He said, our police members handled the situation very skillfully. This skillfully was nowhere to be seen in Mekelle yesterday, by the way. Police used brutal force against teachers, journalists, scholars, political workers, demobilized Tigray fighters. Several videos are being shared, some graphic I cannot show you here. A female police official was seen in a video yesterday slapping a TDF member. Unprovoked, slapped. The TDF member slapped. Another TDF member was harshly beaten, and we have seen pictures, videos of those who were beaten showing torture marks on their bodies. That is what skill is for Mekelle police chief. I think top tier of Tigray ordered police to be strict, to be brutal, to send a message to opposition that opposition won't be allowed to protest. I think Lieutenant General Fisya Kidano's letter was important. Before this protest, he wrote a letter to police, to army commanders, telling them that they should take action. that this protest is basically aimed at overthrowing the government. So that letter emboldened the Makale police, and Makale police then resorted to excessive use of force against opposition parties. But again, I would say now TPLF should not underestimate opposition parties. It was good to see diaspora speak. Diaspora spoke in support of opposition parties, condemning state action against opposition parties in Makale. TDF members are joining opposition parties. They were there. And if hundreds of TDF members start joining opposition parties and they announce another protest, what will TPLF do? TPLF will have to talk to these opposition parties. This anti-government sentiment, resentment is rising in Tigray. Thirdly, viewers, Eritreans in London protested a few hours ago. The protest rally was held to demand the release of Eritreans arrested in Israel. On Saturday in Israel, there was a clash between Eritrean pro-government and opposition members. More than 100 were injured, and now a legal battle has begun in Israel. Eritrean embassy in Israel is backing pro-government people who have been arrested and whose case is being heard by a judge who could be deported. Brigade Nihamido, other opposition groups, they are backing those Eritreans who are part of Brigade Nihamido. They have been arrested too, and they are also facing this trial, this legal case at a court. So now a legal battle. Both parties have the means to hire lawyers. Let's see what happens to this legal battle in Israel. Meanwhile, protests held in support of Eritrean Brigade Nihamido members arrested in Israel who are now on trial. Protests organized in Europe, in the UK by Brigade Nihamido and other opposition groups. Watch the clip from this protest which was held in the UK a few hours ago. Thanks for watching.